Well, I ended up coming back here to Fiesta, Texas before the end of the year after all. This is kind of silly, but I just could not stand the idea of falling one lap short of my all-time personal record for rides in a year on one coaster. I was at 104 on Iron Rattler. 105 is my record, that's on Iron Gwazi. And even though Iron Gwazi is probably objectively a better ride, I like Iron Rattler more. It's a personal favorite of mine, so it just feels right that it should have my own personal record if I have any opportunity for it. How many other times am I gonna have to be able to get to over 100 rides on this or anything else? So one away from my record, I had to come back and do it. If I get only 2 rides on it and that's all I do today, that will be a success. But I will not stop at 2. I'll keep going. But it is a little windy today, so we'll see if they have any problems with it. And this is the week between Christmas and New Year's. This week that is known as, well, they don't call it Heaven Week. About the worst week of the year to go to amusement parks, especially in Florida. Don't know how much worse it is here compared to like a Halloween time, but it's also a Saturday. So you know it's gonna be super busy. Flash Pass comes in so handy. And mission accomplished. I got my 2 rides, both in the back row, 1 in each seat. And this is now the record holder for me. Most laps on any ride in a year in my lifetime, 106. There was a water slide on a cruise ship that over the course of that 8-day cruise, I rode it 100 times even. And then there's Iron Gwazi that I did 105 times. And now this at 106. Even the water slides at my home water park, none of them I've ever done 100 times in a year. The trapdoor water slide, I maybe do about 50 times a year, approximately. I probably average about 3 times per visit, and I go about 20 times a summer. And I got so lucky with this. I was on the next to last ride before it broke down. Don't know how long it'll be down. May not be long, but I imagine we got 8.5 hours left. They'll probably get it up and running again, I'm sure. It's a little windy right now. I'm wondering if that's the problem. The wind is gonna let up later. A few things that work in Iron Gwazi's favor in terms of like my personal all-time record is that on Iron Gwazi in 2022, when I had those 105 rides, I did not have any kind of skip the line pass at that park. It was all going through the regular line. And I did not have any kind of ERT sessions either. I've had ERT here, I've had skip the line. Although, I guess on Iron Gwazi, I sort of had a 3-day ERT because only pass holders were able to get in for 3 of those days. But also I had 6 days plus like an hour or 2 where I got 1 ride in that hour or 2. The other 6 days I got 104 rides. So I had more days here. But I also accomplished more than just riding rides here. Doing shows, doing tours during Roller Coaster Rodeo. Regardless, I guess both rides I had some sort of special access to the ride at times. But the skip the line service here is the only real reason why I was able to reach 100 this year. They were smart to leave the front row empty on that. Singing saps at night. Don't know if they're still doing that. Even though it is still Christmas season, New Year's hasn't hit, they aren't doing any of their Christmas shows anymore. Six Flags Over Texas continues their Christmas shows through New Year's. That's been a great day here. I knew it was going to be busy. You come at this time of year, in between Christmas and New Year's, you know what you're getting into. They don't do their normal Christmas shows after Christmas, but they still got all the lights on. Yeah, Batman the Ride's open. It was not open earlier this month. On my 2 visits here early in the month, it's now open. I'll be ending my day with 16 laps on Iron Rattler, 12 in the back row. So my final count for the year is 120. I definitely wanted to break my Iron Gwazi record of 105, and I certainly did that. I pretty much obliterated it. I only needed one ride to do it, but I got 16 today. Wasn't sure where to stop, but I figured 120 is a nice round number to stop on, especially since the park closes officially in 26 minutes. And I imagine there's going to be a mad dash for the parking lot both before and after the fireworks. In fact, it may have already started, but I think at about 9 o'clock it'll be worse. And then once the fireworks are over, it's going to be chaos. Fireworks show is pretty cool, especially if it's a 360, which it is not tonight. If it was, I'd stick around for it. The 360 thing that they do like 2 or 3 times a year, that's worth sticking around for. That's worth waiting out the major traffic jam. And I'm keeping my tradition by starting and ending a year with an RMC. First ride of the year was New Texas Giant. Last ride of the year, Iron Rattler. Actually, last 7 rides of the year, Iron Rattler. And it's interesting because when I was here 2 weeks ago and thought that was going to be my last park visit of the season of 2024, I finished with 7 rides on Iron Rattler. And I was lamenting when I was leaving because I was like, oh, when am I going to be back here? Well, I ended up being back here 2 weeks later.